Welcome to our guide on developing persuasive speeches. Did you know that public speaking is one of the most powerful skills you can master? In fact, 74% of people suffer from speech anxiety, but those who overcome it can increase their chances of career advancement by 15%. Shocking, right? But it gets better. Studies reveal that a well-delivered speech can be 50% more effective in influencing an audience than written communication. Imagine the impact you can make. In this video, we'll uncover secrets that top speakers use. From mastering storytelling to engaging your audience interactively, we have it all. You'll learn how to craft openings that captivate and use body language that speaks volumes. Plus, discover the power of silence in making your words resonate. Stay tuned, because by the end of this, you'll have the tools to inspire, influence, and leave a lasting impression. Ready to become a great speaker? Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Mastering the Art of Storytelling. Stories are the heart of great speeches. They can turn a dull presentation into an unforgettable experience. Research shows that stories can be up to 22 times more memorable than facts alone. Imagine your speech like a journey. Your audience should feel every twist and turn. First, find your core message. What do you want your audience to remember? This is your North Star. Everything in your story should point back to this. A great story has a beginning, middle, and end. Start with a hook, something that grabs attention right away. Think of a personal experience that ties into your message. Personal stories are powerful because they are unique to you. They create a connection that facts and figures can't. People relate to human experiences. Use vivid descriptions. Instead of saying, "It was a nice day," say, "The sun was shining, and the air was crisp." Dialogue can make your story come alive. "I can't believe it," she exclaimed, paints a picture. It feels real. Use emotions. Describe how you felt in the moment. "I was terrified" is more engaging than "I was scared." Data can also support your story. For example, if you're talking about overcoming obstacles, mention a stat like, "Did you know that 70% of successful entrepreneurs have faced at least one major failure?" This shows that your story is part of a bigger picture. End your story with a strong conclusion. It should tie back to your core message. Think of it as a moral of the story. This leaves a lasting impression. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you tell your story, the more natural it will feel. Chapter 2: The Science of Emotional Connection. Connecting with your audience on an emotional level is crucial. Emotions drive decisions more than logic. A study by the Carnegie Institute of Technology found that 85% of financial success is due to skills in human engineering, like communication and emotional intelligence. Start by knowing your audience. What are their hopes, fears, and values? Tailor your message to resonate with them. Use empathy. Put yourself in their shoes. This shows you understand and care about their feelings. Stories are great for emotional connection, but so are analogies and metaphors. They make complex ideas simple and relatable. For example, if you're talking about teamwork, you might say, "A great team is like a well-oiled machine. Every part needs to work together." Body language plays a big role too. Open gestures, eye contact, and a warm smile can convey trust and empathy. A study from UCLA found that up to 93% of communication effectiveness is determined by nonverbal cues. Voice modulation is another powerful tool. Vary your pitch and pace to keep your audience engaged. Speak faster to show excitement, slower to emphasize important points. A monotone voice can lose attention fast. Ask rhetorical questions to make your audience think. Have you ever felt like giving up? This engages their emotions and keeps them involved. Use positive reinforcement. Words like "imagine" and "picture this" can evoke strong images and feelings. Imagine reaching your goals and feeling that rush of achievement. Cite relatable examples. If you're discussing overcoming fear, mention a famous figure like J.K. Rowling. Even J.K. Rowling faced countless rejections before publishing Harry Potter. End with a call to action that tugs at the heartstrings. Together, we can make a difference. Let's take the first step today. Chapter 3: Crafting Irresistible Openings. The first few seconds of your speech are crucial. Studies show that people form an impression within the first 7 seconds. That's why your opening needs to grab attention immediately. Start with a bang, not a whimper. Consider using a startling fact. Did you know that more people have cell phones than access to clean water? This makes people sit up and listen. Or begin with a powerful quote. As Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Another effective strategy is to ask a provocative question. What would you do if you had no fear? This engages the audience's curiosity. Storytelling works here too. When I was 10, I faced my biggest fear. Personal stories create instant connection. Use humor if appropriate. A light-hearted joke can break the ice. They say public speaking is scarier than death. So, does that make a speech at a funeral a double whammy? Just make sure it's relevant and tasteful. Anecdotes from well-known personalities can be impactful. Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage. Imagine if he had given up on his dream. This inspires and captivates. Props can also be a great tool. Holding up an item related to your talk piques interest. This tiny object changed the course of history. Visual aids make your opening memorable. You can also use a surprising statement. Everything you know about success is wrong. This creates intrigue. Engaging the senses is powerful too. Close your eyes and imagine the smell of fresh rain. Using a dramatic pause right after your opening line can amplify its effect. Silence grabs attention in a noisy world. Finally, always tie your opening back to your main message. This creates coherence and sets the stage for what's to come. Chapter 4: The Power of Silence and Pauses. Silence can be more powerful than words. In public speaking, strategic pauses are golden. They give your audience time to absorb your message. Consider this: a study from the University of Wolverhampton found that pauses can increase listener retention by 30%. That's significant. Pauses can also emphasize important points. Instead of rushing through, pause before a key idea. This makes it stand out. The most important thing is, pause, to believe in yourself. Use pauses to create suspense. And the winner is, pause, you. This keeps your audience on the edge of their seats. Pauses can also show confidence. They demonstrate that you're in control of the pacing. Silence can be used to let emotions sink in. After sharing a moving story, a pause allows the audience to feel the impact. And that day, pause, changed my life forever. Pausing gives you a moment to collect your thoughts. It prevents filler words like and These can distract from your message. Silence can also help manage nervousness. Taking a deep breath during a pause can calm your nerves. Use silence to transition between ideas. It signals a shift in topic, helping your audience follow along. We've talked about the problem, pause, now let's explore the solutions. Incorporate pauses in your practice sessions. Get comfortable with silence. It might feel awkward at first, but it becomes natural with time. Think of pauses as a tool, not a gap. Famous speakers use pauses effectively. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech is filled with strategic pauses. It gave his words more weight and impact. Chapter 5: Visual and Vocal Dynamics. To be a persuasive speaker, you need to master both visual and vocal dynamics. These are your tools to keep the audience engaged and make your message clear. Start with your body language. Research shows that non-verbal cues make up to 93% of communication. Open gestures show you're approachable. Avoid crossing your arms, it makes you look closed off. Eye contact is vital. It creates a connection with your audience. Aim to make eye contact with different sections of the room. This makes everyone feel included. Don't stare at your notes or slides too much. Your audience wants to see your face. Your facial expressions should match your message. A smile can make you seem friendly and positive. If you're talking about something serious, a more solemn expression is appropriate. Mirror the emotions you want your audience to feel. Use your space. Don't just stand behind a podium. Move around the stage, but do it with purpose. It shows confidence and keeps your audience's eyes following you. Now, let's talk about your voice. Varying your pitch keeps things interesting. A monotone voice can lose listeners fast. When you're excited, let your voice rise. For serious points, lower your tone. Pace is also crucial. Speaking too fast can overwhelm your audience. Too slow, and you might bore them. Find a rhythm that feels natural. Pause to let important points sink in. This adds weight to your words. Volume control is another tool. Use a louder voice for emphasis, but don't shout. Softer tones can draw your audience in, making them lean forward and listen more intently. Don't forget about articulation. Speak clearly so your audience can understand every word. Practice tricky phrases. Tongue twisters can help improve your clarity. A great tip is to record yourself. Listen to your speech and note where you can improve. Are there points where you sound monotonous? Do you need to slow down? Self-assessment is key. Incorporate stories and examples in your speech. This keeps your audience engaged and makes your points more relatable. Visual aids like slides can be helpful, but don't rely on them. They should complement your speech, not be the main focus. Remember, practice makes perfect. Rehearse in front of a mirror or with friends. Get feedback and refine your delivery. Great speakers aren't born, they're made through practice and dedication. Chapter 6: Interactive Engagement Techniques. Engaging your audience is crucial for a memorable speech. Interactive techniques can make your presentation more dynamic and impactful. Start with rhetorical questions. They make the audience think without expecting an answer. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? This sparks curiosity and personal reflection. Polls and surveys are fantastic for interaction. Tools like Mentimeter or Slido allow real-time audience participation. How many of you have faced this challenge? Showing the results immediately can create a sense of community and shared experience. Live demonstrations can be very engaging. If your topic allows, show something in action. It's much more compelling than just talking about it. For example, if you're discussing a new tech gadget, demonstrate its features live. Encourage audience participation. Ask for volunteers to come up and help with a demonstration. This breaks the barrier between you and the audience. It makes the session more interactive and fun. Interactive storytelling is another great technique. Start a story and then ask the audience what they think should happen next. Imagine you're in this situation. What would you do next? This keeps them mentally engaged. Use props to make your points more tangible. If you're talking about health, showing a model of the human heart can be very effective. It makes abstract ideas concrete and understandable. Incorporate group activities. Have your audience discuss a topic in small groups and then share their thoughts. This encourages active participation and keeps energy levels high. Utilize technology. QR codes can link to additional resources or interactive quizzes. Scan this code to take a quick quiz on what we've just covered. This keeps the engagement going beyond the speech. Use humor wisely. A well-placed joke or funny anecdote can lighten the mood and make your speech more relatable. Just make sure it's appropriate and relevant to your topic. Acknowledge your audience's input. If someone asks a question or makes a comment, respond positively. That's a great point. Thanks for bringing it up. This shows you value their participation. End with a strong call to action. Now that you know these techniques, go out and practice them. Start small, but start today. This motivates your audience to take what they've learned and apply it. Remember, interaction keeps your audience engaged and makes your message stick. Don't just talk at them, involve them in the process.